Hey guys, and welcome to my beauty maintenance routine. This is like a self-care video just on steroids because I decided to do that entire routine you do when you're like about to go on vacation or something because I was feeling pretty lousy. I had not washed my hair or done any treatments and then ended up just feeling 10 out of 10. Like my eyebrows needed work, everything needed work. So let's go ahead and jump in. I always like to start my self-care with a nice green juice or smoothie, whatever you want to call it. I use some oat milk, a banana, and some spirulina, which is like a crazy superfood, some frozen pineapple, and a clementine. And you think that it's super green, okay? You're like, oh my gosh, that's really green, but it tastes so good. It's such a treat. I highly recommend you try it. And I always get a lot of questions about these glasses and the glass straws, so if you're interested, I'll be linking everything that I've used down in the description box below. So I believe I've shared with you guys before that I suffer with psoriasis, especially in my scalp, but this past month it's just been so unbearable. It's been really dry and just flaky and annoying, and I decided to try for the first time A+D, which is one of my favorite ointments for anything. I used it when I burned my face with a curling iron accidentally, and it healed that burn literally within like 48 hours. So if it can heal probably a second-degree burn or whatever that was on my forehead, I think that it can deal with some psoriasis, and it did. It did. So I put it all over my scalp, and then I used this Saint Tropica coconut oil all over the ends, and I just kind of secured it in a bun, and I usually would throw a plastic bag over my head, but New Jersey no longer has plastic bags available, so I used some saran wrap. This will just keep the heat inside, and I went ahead and put on a towel turban just to kind of keep it warm while I do my eyebrows. I've always done my eyebrows at home, and let me tell you, it got a whole lot easier when I got these like tweezers off of Amazon. They are so sharp and it just makes it so much more precise. I was using like Tweezerman or some other brands, but with time they just got dull and I felt like I kept trying and trying, but it took way longer than necessary. So highly recommend investing in some good tweezers. I'll link mine below. I got them from Amazon, a set of 4 for I think it was like $10 or something. I use these angled tweezers and a spoolie to kind of trim my eyebrow hairs. I only recently started doing this like regularly, but it definitely improves the look of my eyebrows because I definitely have a lot of hair growing out of my eyebrows, and sometimes I do have to wax around that area as well, which brings me to the next step. We're going to be doing some waxing on the face. This is my favorite method because I feel like when I shave my face, sometimes like with the light skin dark hair combo, it kind of protrudes and you see it within like a day or two. So I love waxing, and I got myself this like wax warming device on Amazon a while ago, and I've just been using it ever since and refilling it with like little pieces of hard wax, and it's been so beneficial. I'm still a little too timid to do anything besides my face, but I even got like this nose waxing set that had these really cool little knobs, and you might think it's really scary, but actually the nose is not as painful as you would think. Like the upper lip is really, really painful for me. But now we're going to go ahead and shave the face. I'm using this face razor, and I love doing this for the peach fuzz. There's a difference between waxing the coarse, darker hairs and then shaving the light, small hairs that just kind of add a little bit of texture when you're doing makeup, and it really helps to make sure you have like a slick surface. Now I'm prepping the skin by using the Laneige Water Bank Cleanser. This is my favorite cleanser right now. I am obsessed with it. You need so little of it. Like, this is gonna last me for forever because you need so little, but it is so powerful. It actually leaves my skin squeaky clean. And then this is the matching Laneige Water Bank toner. Use that. And then I'm using my favorite mask. This is such a treat for me. This is the Erno Laszlo Vitality Mask. It completely transforms my skin. I can feel the hydration deep within my layers. And then once I'm done and I put it all on and I'm sitting with it, I go ahead and soak my fingers in that little bowl. I filled it up with water. I clean up the cuticles. I file it down. I do what I need to do. I've lately been really liking my natural nails. At first they were kind of weak and wobbly, but I started using this clear gel I got off of Amazon. I don't put it under any lights or anything, it's kind of just like a nail polish, and I apply 2 coats to every single nail, and it hardens and gets solid. So since I've been using it now for about like 3 or 4 weeks back to back, now I've had this for years, I've been using it for years, I just forgot about it, but it makes my nails harder as I use it regularly. And then I decided to go ahead and put on this beautiful pink Essie nail polish I have. I'll leave all the names of everything down below for you guys if you're interested, because I'm telling you, these things are my ride or dies. I decided to use everything that's my favorite in this video to make myself just feel tip top. To finish off, I'm going to go ahead and apply some oil to the cuticle area. I get really dry cuticles. I don't know what it is about my fingers. They just need that extra TLC. But now I went ahead and removed the mask. It was kind of messy. Didn't want to show you guys on camera because I was also like trying not to ruin my manicure. Using the Micro Essence from Erno Laszlo. It's just so nice and hydrating, and also just to remove the excess from the mask. And now it's time to remove the A+D ointment from my scalp and the coconut oil out of my hair. I've been walking around doing things around the house, and it was finally time for a shower. I'm using the John Frieda Detox shampoo, and I actually shampooed my hair multiple times because that A+D ointment is thick. It took me like 3 or 4 shampoos to really get it out. And if you're struggling with psoriasis, I also highly recommend On the Rocks, which is a scalp scrub from the Dry Bar. It's very, very good. And I also used some Finola shampoo, which just helped to get rid of the brassy bronze colors. Then I decided to do just a quick at-home pedicure. My camera was freaking out during this period. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, I was out of focus, sorry. But I like to add like peppermint oil and whatever and just have a good time. At this point, my hair has kind of dried, and I'm using the K18 restructuring mask on my hair. This thing brings my hair back to life. I am so impressed. And I just go ahead and brush it throughout my whole entire head of hair and apply it section by section. This is a crucial step, and all I do is just leave it in for 10 minutes and then continue styling as you want to. I actually ended up letting my hair air dry, and I'm also using these Crest whitening strips. My camera decided to not focus again. I don't know what was up, but it was probably doing you a service because nobody needs to see me trying to spit out white strips. But brightened my smile, and I was ready to go do my skincare, doing a little facial at home, my favorite. I got this facial steamer off of Amazon. It's one of my favorite purchases of all time, and I went ahead and applied this Neutrogena Texture AHA BHA combo. It's so good for texture, you need to try it. And then I'm a big fan, like a really, really big fan of the Vital C line from Image. It's one of the only products that like thoroughly goes and gets rid of my dark spots. I'm also using this Paula's Choice booster, like I got a few of them. I'm using the peptide booster, the niacinamide booster, and I think that was the hyaluronic acid booster, all together just to really get it into my skin. And my skin is so dry that it can absorb all these products. It's actually ridiculous like how much my skin can absorb. So just be mindful of what your skin absorbs if you're going to be using this much. And then I used a few eye serums and this retinol eye cream from Josie Moran. I really, really like it. And just kind of sat there, let it marinate for a second. I've been really into these like calming YouTube videos lately, so in the background it's just like crickets and noise. It's so nice. And now I'm using this Fresh lip drops, which literally instantly gets rid of dry lips, and also the Fresh lip serum. And this is actually the hydropeptide cream that I love for the neck. It's for like necklines, and as you age, that's kind of important. And then I'm using the Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream because it's just so nourishing. Then I'm going to go ahead and use the Paula's Choice Moisture Renewal Oil. This is so good for my skin. I don't know what it is about it, but the dry skin in my face just needs it. Then I'm going to go ahead and use Laneige Eye Sleeping Mask on my eye area. Just keep in mind I did not put the oil there, so this is still absorbing into the skin. Then I use my 2 gua shas and just kind of give myself a facial massage. I also move the steamer away from my face because I feel like I need the product to actually absorb. And it's so funny because after a while I could feel that my skin was basically like everything was absorbed, which is phenomenal. And then I'm using this fresh lip mask and continuing a facial massage, just using my fingers now. One of my favorite things right now is these reusable masks from Pacifica. I can make whatever serum sit on my face and get absorbed, and it's phenomenal. So after I'm done with my skincare and it's pretty much absorbed, I go ahead and apply these. They have very different ones. There's a forehead one, there's a mouth one, which I am not wearing, the smile lines, and the under eye ones. Sometimes I use these in the morning, and it's just so nice because you can put whatever serum you have and it just helps to make it absorb. Now I'm going to style my hair, so I'm just applying some of my favorite products that I use on the regular basis, like a deep conditioner or like a leave-in conditioner and just a keratin treatment. And this is my favorite for like my roots because it helps with my psoriasis as well as just hair growth in general because I've been losing a little bit of hair from my psoriasis. And now as I remove these masks, I'm noticing like my skin is everything's pretty much absorbed. And then I got these off Amazon and I use them on occasion. I always forget that I have them, but I notice a visible difference with that like puffy part on my neck chin area, and it's like my double chin, right? And I just sit there and watch like a TV show with this. It is so comfortable, I don't even notice it. And I'm also applying that A+D ointment just a tiny bit all over my skin. It's vitamin E, it's fish oil. Yes, it smells kind of funky, but I put it onto my face and my skin just looks visibly different the next day. It makes a huge difference. Now onto my absolute favorite part. I recently started doing a new technique for heatless curls, and I'm using my headbands from my small boutique Justolina. So if you're interested in any of the headbands, you can get them as headbands, but I am using them also to curl my hair. So the technique is really just to roll your hair up into the headband, and then I separate the loops and pull one loop through the other, and then I take that big loop and cover the hair to make sure it doesn't get frizzy while I'm sleeping. And the one thing I will say is I have done this a few times since filming this video, and I changed the placement of where I put the headbands. I now make sure I part my hair first, but this works so unbelievably well. I am so happy with it. And if you guys are interested in getting yourself some headbands, there's a coupon code GRWM, which is Get Ready With Me, for 20% off the entire website. And yeah, it's a pretty easy technique, I feel. A lot of people were so excited when I showed the reel I did on Instagram sharing how I do this, but it's so foolproof. I love it so much, and I'm going to continue doing this because it worked out really, really well for me. And it's kind of fun that you just have a bunch of different headbands in your hair. I also wanted to take this time to say thank you to any of you guys who have placed an order, especially recently, because I think I mentioned this in another video. I am currently looking for a 9-to-5 role, like a traditional role, because it's just been really inconsistent being a content creator lately. And if you think this is all glamorous and stuff, I promise you it's not, but especially recently it's just been a little kind of hesitant, and I know a lot of other creators who have now moved more to traditional 9-to-5 roles to kind of support that, so that the fact that content creation is so inconsistent right now is just a little easier. So I wanted to say a huge thank you, because the sales that are coming in from Justolina are helping hold me over until I find a role, which has not been easy. If any of you guys are looking for a job right now, I relate. Not ideal. But anyways, I decided to self-tan. I'm using this Soap and Glory moisturizer. I don't know why it is so good for me when I self-tan. I put it on all the dry patches on my skin, so around my ankles, my elbows, the back of my neck, knees, all those kind of spots. And then I go ahead and apply my self-tanner. And lately I've been using the Bondi Sands. I almost said Bondi Boost. Bondi Sands 3 hour, like it's a 1 hour tan. It's like a fast one, but I accidentally left it on overnight for 8 hours. I actually think it might have been a little bit more than 8 hours, but I love this one because if you do it for just a few hours, it looks so good. I mean, it still looked good and it fades really nicely, but it gives me a nice olive color as opposed to like a reddish orange, which doesn't really flatter my skin tone. But I applied that with a sponge, and then I woke up the next morning and I'll show you what it looks like. So I showered it off and I finally look like a normal color, but okay, still a little darker than expected. And this is my reaction to getting the curls out. This was the first time I did this technique. I've been looking at so many different ones online, and I just had this thought, like, why don't I use my headbands? And I was genuinely so excited. If you want to hear what I'm saying, I actually have a reel on my Instagram up of this same exact situation. I had my phone in front of me filming as well. And yeah, it ended up really, really nice. The key at this point is to shake it out. The only issue I think I had was the fact that the roots, especially in the front, end up looking a little funky when I tried to part them. Like, you see how it looks kind of weird? I mean, it's still lots of volume, looks really, really cool, but it just needed a little bit of straightening, a little bit of help. Now, I purchased these lash extensions, like DIY ones, because of a TikTok I saw, and this was the first time I decided to try them. Very stressful situation, but it wasn't that bad. I filmed me putting it on, like, in my talking portion onto my TikTok if you want to see, but these are from Winklick, and I'm using the Minx ones. So I think they're really nice. I did have an issue of them falling off the next day because I had a mental breakdown after filming this. The job search really took it out of me, man. But I reapplied them the next day and they were fine. Then I did my makeup. Let me know if you guys want an everyday makeup routine. I've been just digging into the same products, honestly, but I've been so happy with how my makeup looks. It literally is top tier. I've just been really loving the fact that I put these extensions on because it made me want to do my makeup every single morning, and last week I literally did my makeup every single day. Besides, I think one day I did like a really light tinted moisturizer, but it makes me feel beautiful and it makes me feel just together, and it's a vibe. After doing like my entire beauty routine, I genuinely feel so much more together, and I'm noticing myself like just even filming more myself. Like, it really is true that when you like feel like you look good, you behave differently. And it's so sad because I feel like I neglected my looks for a long time. And I'm not gonna say that my mental health wasn't good. It was more that like I just felt like I was trying to juggle so much that doing like the self-care, the things that made me feel like together, like doing my own nails, doing like my self-tan, doing like just things that make me feel better myself, like I put on the back burner, and I would just kind of keep like, I'd be like, there's no time to do this, like I should be editing, or I should be doing emails, or I should be doing this. Taking the time to take care of myself makes me show up more confident. And I think confidence is such an interesting conversation, and I feel like I need to do a video just talking about confidence, because there's so many people that lack confidence in themselves. And confidence doesn't mean that you're always like on top of the world. It just means that, you know, like you believe in yourself, kind of, you know? And I just like think back to before I like got confident, and I was such a different person. Like you wouldn't be able to even recognize me. I was so shy, I was so timid. I would be fearful to talk. I'd be fearful to come up to a stranger. Now it's like, it's so different. I feel like confidence literally changes everything and anything about you, and it's such a key. And I hope that like everyone takes the time to develop their confidence, but sometimes it just takes somebody else to pull that confidence out of you.